In the Godfather game, the living world is the environment in which the player plays the game. It's an environment where their character exists, and it's an open environment that the player can explore and discover different parts of the Godfather game and different parts of the Godfather fiction. We've created a living world of New York set in the late 40s, where we've modeled and created 5 different neighborhoods. We've created New Jersey, Midtown, Little Italy, Brooklyn, and Hell's Kitchen. What we really wanted the player to feel like was that they were living in the movie. We wanted players to feel like they were walking around New York as it was set in the Godfather film.
You have to take a certain scene that's very, very well represented in a film and from that scene build a large interactive world. So we did a lot of research as to what buildings would have looked like. We have piles of books and films and photographs, all visual research of New York in the 40s. We actually had an architect on the team for several months who did a lot of plans for us. So all of the facades that you see in the game, the buildings, they should be accurate to what architecture was like in New York at that time. We got immersed in it. We were very, very interested in making sure that we represented this as accurately as we could.
The first thing you do when you build a living world game is you create a map of the world. And we went block by block, setting up different buildings and setting up different buildings from scenes in the movie and setting those into the game where the player can walk by and experience them and see them as they would see it in the movie or in late 40s New York. Our goal for creating the living world for The Godfather was to give the player a lot of freedom and choices of gameplay they can experience. You can go from the streets right into a building without ever having to experience a load sequence. You can even grab somebody in an interior and throw them through a window out into the streets. And of course, beat them up when you get them out there.
We want people to have a sense of feeling that this is a really rich environment that's alive, to see how accurate we are with the buildings, with the architecture, with the streets, the cars, the clothing, the landmarks of New York. I really hope that when they see this New York that they will feel that it's a world that, first of all, they can be immersed in, and it is really New York in the 40s.